welcome everybody to the Hot Mics. It
Hot
is your
mic.
host.
The hot mics. We got a hot mic.
It's your host Ian with my co-host Anthony, and we have a
So
special guest on today. Anthony, you want to introduce our special guest today?
yes, so this is a very special guest. Uh, very good friend of mine. United States Army, retired. Uh, many tours, deployments. He's going to be our political expert today. And since he typed up Nico on the screen, we're going to introduce my buddy Nico. ¿Qué pasó? How are we doing today?
God bless you all, and thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Yes,
we,
sir.
we're
Yes,
we're
sir.
we're we're thankful for you joining us, man. We definitely appreciate you taking your time out to join us. We definitely appreciate your service to our country. Um, we're blessed. We're blessed to be in your presence.
Yes,
Amen.
yes. So you guys are in for a treat, okay? Because he can go on and on and on. So we're gonna get his views from a military, from a former service member, retired. We'll get his views and just give him the space to just forecast and tell us his forecast for the direction of the country and the political landscape what we're going into. So you guys are in for a treat.
And right, and we're post the election. The election just happened, so it's really going to be a treat.
That's right. That's right. What did we? Today is Thursday, so
Yeah.
election day was what, Tuesday?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just 2 days. This is a fresh show. Fresh show. So
Yeah.
all right. So I guess should I start off with the first question, or would you like to start off with the first question?
Yeah. I mean, really, I'll start off, and really, I just want to have this as a conversation, right? So,
Uh-huh.
for me, one of the biggest issues that Trump is going to face, he's the next president for the next 4 years, and one of the biggest issues he's got to face is um, Social Security and Medicare, right there, Medicaid or Medicare, I don't know, Medicare it is. Both of those are looking to go insolvent very soon, and the date of insolvency is approaching. Is actually creeping closer every day, right? So his plan, I think, is really to keep things benefits as normal, and not to increase taxes. What's your take on that?
You asking me? This is a very uh, complicated question because Social Security on itself is a democratic creature. It is
Mm,
is you know what I'm saying. Uh, if you made it and you break it, you bought it. Uh, it if I was a Republican person, I don't care about Social Security. The Democrats invented it. Hey, somebody benevolent is going to come sometime and give a couple of raises like the Democrats did in this period, and that is going to hold for the 7 lean years that we are going to be experiencing, if you know what I'm talking about.
okay, okay. But all right, so when I look at Social Security, me and Anthony's had this conversation before. I look at Social Security. To me, Social Security is not an entitlement program because I paid into it, right? And the promise is that, hey, I put in 6.2% of my income monthly, and then when I retire, I'll have a check coming to me every month. Um, if that runs out, which it looks like it's going to be, be insolvent pretty soon, where's my money that I put into it? Because it's supposed to be an insurance plan. Where's my money at? What should I do?
Brother, let me say this with in all true honesty. uh, the Social Security is supposed to be something that it was going to be solid, self-sustained, and that will never face any changes. But if you have an old system that around it is being so many changes, and that system do not evolve, you're going to have problems, and those
Right.
problems showed up now. Yes, I pay for my Social Security, and yes, I have my Social Security check. Why so early? Because I was afraid that it was going to run out of money every
Hmm.
year that the Social Security is being sent to my bank account is a blessing to me because I have no idea how long is going we are going to last.
Right, right, and I think you hit on a couple of good points. Is that um, there has been no changes in Social Security, right? Is well, there has been minor changes, but there should have been more drastic changes. You know, when Social Security first was started, life expectancy was way less than it is now. I think right now life expectancy is around 80 years. First, when Social Security first started back in the 1920s, uh, it was what 50, 60 years was life expectancy. So, Social Security, like you said, it would work and it would, solve itself. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's been no changes. And what changes should they make, in order to, to either A, keep it going, or B, stop it somehow. What changes you think? Well, Anthony, what you think as well?
So for me, they've already opened the border up. So that's their solution for it, right? The United States population is not reproducing fast enough because it's not the savings account that they had promised, right? But instead they're using it. They're spending that money as it comes in.
Hmm.
So the system depends on the next generation of taxable people to keep it afloat, and we all know this, right?
Hmm.
So they have to solve that problem. Otherwise, there will be riots in the streets, just like France, just like Greece, right?
Right.
So they pose this immigration crisis, but in actuality, hey, they're bringing in migrants. They're all taxable people, right? And then they're going to give birth, and they're going to give birth to taxable people. So that
Hmm.
is that is what the U.S. is doing to solve its it's a population problem, right?
Right.
Right now, we have the highest percentage of people over 60 years old ever in history. So we have to support them. So the system can't run dry because the system goes by faith. So if the faith in the system right now, we're teeter-tottering on faith, but as long as those checks keep coming, we still believe. But hey,
Right.
once those checks stop
You,
coming, hey,
you,
you will know that hey, it
It's
is
over.
yes, it's over, and they probably have shut the borders down by then. You
you,
know what I'm saying?
if you would have asked me 2 days ago, I would have answered the same answer that I'm giving you right now. You're just kicking the can down the road because somehow a problem is going to solve itself. That is not the answer that we want to, but what other answer can you produce to save the system? That
Right,
everything
right,
changes around, but that system is right there. You hoping that keeps going. I
right,
it was a great idea, but how old is that idea? The
right,
economic
right,
other economic models you can put to the side and say we can move this to this when it's a democratic creature. If it would have been a creature created by both, but then that would have been a different thing.
right. Yeah, I think so. Social Security really was created during the Great Depression. It was a product out of the Great
Yes.
Depression, and it was created out of desperation. And yeah, and you're right. Like there's been it really that hasn't hold the test of time per se, and it's really not. Um, what it's being used for is what it wasn't intended for, and it, wasn't intended for to pay people at 80 years old. I mean, or 90 or 100, right? It wasn't intended for that. So yeah, I mean, for me, I have a radical plan. I think anybody under 50, give them their money back plus all the interest that they paid into it, and let them either A, invest it for themselves, or B, keep it in a fund that gains interest, like the 10-year, treasury yield or something like that, right? And they can continue to keep contributing if they want to. If they don't, they don't. But the consequences should be on us, if we don't do it. So, you know, that would be my plan. Anybody above 50, I think it's too late to stop it and use that plan. So let them stay in the current plan until it was going to run out. So you're going to have to increase some kind of tax in order to pay for it, or decrease some kind of spending, which Washington seems to not be able to do. So, you know.
I say out of all the things though, I mean, out of all the government waste of the bureaucracy, right? Like,
Mhm.
why would I dream about cutting the benefits that go to the citizens? Right? Like literally out of everything that we pay. I mean, people nowadays, if you are a working class person, typically you're spending 50% of your money in taxes.
Mhm.
right? So why would I dream about cutting benefits back to that person, right? Like we may need to cut the space program, we may need to pull out of Ukraine,
Mhm.
right? Like like there are a lot of other things we may need to stop exploring for the Titanic. You know what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of things that we're wasting money on. So Social Security accounts for $1.2 trillion of debt every year.
Wow.
So the national debt increases $1 trillion every 100 days.
Wow.
So we're talking about 25%, a third, 25% or a third of the annual national debt in Social Security.
She keeps telling me she's leaving. She keeps telling me